everybody, Frank here. Thanks for watching. So today's video is going to be a discussion video about a topic that's been long debated and somewhat controversial in the gun community. It's going to be about whether or not you think you should carry with an empty chamber in a concealed carry weapon. I'll just tell you briefly here that a family member close to me decided recently that he wanted to buy a pistol and he wanted to start to carry concealed. And among other things, this topic came up, and I thought, man, this would be a great discussion video. I've been carrying pistols now for probably about 7 or 8 years, something like that. Learned a lot firsthand through my own experience in that time. Taken some training classes and learned a lot. Still have a lot I need to learn, but I feel a better handle on firearms in general, and being a concealed carry permit holder, I think that I learned a lot. So my plan in this video is to tell you guys what I think about it, and then I want to ask you all to engage in the conversation. Comment down below and chime in. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree with me, tell me if you disagree with me, or you just have some other idea that you want to throw out there. So like I said, I think that for me, after doing this now for 7 or 8 years, my opinion on it has greatly changed. Whenever I first started to carry, I actually was empty chamber, more or less, to just get to the point. I was an empty chamber carrier. I didn't want to have a round in there because I've always carried Glock pistols, heard good things about them, started with Glock pistols, never had any issues with them, and I like them because I don't like, there's a lot of things about Glocks I do like, and I just never found a reason to go out anywhere else. I don't own a ton of firearms, so the ones I buy, I try to make them last, and I try to have each of them serve a purpose. So Glocks always did fine by me, and because they don't have a manual safety on them, I thought, no, I don't want to carry with an open chamber. I do want to carry with an open chamber, just in case I would bump that trigger or something would get past the trigger guard or get snagged on something, and so on. And yes, I understand that there's a snag-proof trigger on a Glock, and I get that. I just felt better. It was a peace of mind having an empty chamber. But as I said, my opinion has evolved over the years. As time has went on, I've gotten more confident in my draw, my process, my movement, my familiarity with the gun, how it works, the mechanics of it, and so on. And I guess you could say overall just my confidence went up. And I picked a Glock in the beginning because it didn't have a safety on it. And I thought, well, Frank, if you carry with an empty chamber, it's going to take longer to rack the slide and get that first round up into the chamber from the magazine versus clicking off a safety. And again, that among other things, I always carry with one in the chamber now. So another round for the overall capacity of the weapon. If you load the mag again after you rack the slide, and at the end of the day, I just think that if you carry right, the chances of having an issue are, very slim. If you do everything you need to do as a responsible firearms owner. And at the end of the day, I guess you could say that's why I decided to start to carry with one in the chamber. I think that, overall though, as far as what I would say to someone else, is that you should do what you're most comfortable with. I think it's better to carry a pistol with an empty chamber versus carrying no pistol at all. And I wouldn't personally advise someone who's not 100% comfortable with carrying one in the chamber. And I guess you could come back and say, yeah, Frank, but that person probably shouldn't be carrying a gun at all. That's true, but sometimes it just takes time for that person to transition, and their point of view to change. And that's that person's right to defend themselves. So I think that at the end of the day, if someone wants to carry without one in the chamber so that they have a way to protect themselves, but they're a little bit safe from something, negligent discharge and so on, that's their right to be able to do that. And at the end of the day, it's what you're most comfortable with. As time goes on, for someone that's, say, new to firearms, or trying to just kind of get involved more with firearms, and they might follow the same path I did, as far as not carrying with one in the chamber and then transitioning to one in the chamber. But at the end of the day, that's kind of my thoughts on it. You should do what you're most comfortable with, and how you practice and how you train is what you should be familiar with. So I would definitely recommend, though, to anyone who is into firearms, to go take classes, to go get training, to learn as much as you can. Watching videos is great, but going in person where there's a knowledgeable instructor and learning firsthand, you can't beat it. And experiencing it and doing it for yourself, that's the best kind of training and experience a person can have. So I definitely would recommend doing as much of that as you can if you're new into firearms, or even just in general, if you're not new to firearms. Just keep expanding your knowledge and your skill set. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. Those are my thoughts on this whole discussion and whether or not you should carry with an empty chamber. Please, like I said in the beginning of this video, please chime in. Let me know if that's something that you feel similar with me about, or you have your own opinion. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Anyway, I appreciate everybody watching. I really do. Please click the subscribe button. Please click the bell to get notifications. I'm trying to bring more content, bring more quality information, and just try and grow my channel. I'm trying to get to 10,000. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.